it's Ernie. Welcome to the Crazy Bars I've Heard podcast, brought to you by Black Cloud Studios, where art is everything. This podcast is being filmed and recorded here at Black Cloud Studios, the DFW place for all your audio and content needs. To my right, we got
Roane. What's good, everybody? For the one time.
And to my left, I didn't tell him about the intro. That's my fault. It's Ernie, y'all. Mr. Crazy Bars I Heard. Roane, welcome to the pod, man.
Thank you. I'm trying to find out what Casper doing on your left.
No, we go back and forth, but it's cool. We got a dope intro. You're going to hear it. But, man, Roane, welcome to the pod, man. Crazy Bars I Heard podcast. I'm glad we can make this work. What you been on, bro? What you been up to?
Man, I stay busy in the studio, steady making music at all times. I've been tapped in over here. Glad we finally got you over here on Black Cloud. Record everything, get you set up, take care of you right.
Bro, it's a dope setup, man. They've been so great, and their content is fire. Fuego.
Best in the business.
Yeah, man. So you've been working on new music. You're working new artists. Tell us about yourself, bro. Introduce yourself.
For sure. So I go by the name of Roane. I'm a very, very incredibly ambitious, cocky-ass individual. I have high aspirations to win Grammys and platinum records, and I pride myself on being able to pull the best takes out of anybody that I end up working with. And so, consequently, I end up working with the best and only the best. So you can find me over here at Black Cloud Studios recording, producing, anything you need. As far as me on the podcast, I'll be working with a couple artists. I have a show coming up at the end of June, coming out of retirement, literally for the one time.
Wow.
The only time I'm coming out for retirement. The city of Fort Worth pulled out the bat signal and, had to pull up for the one time.
Dang, so you perform for the city.
Performing for the city, yeah. They got me doing a 45-minute set. So if y'all got any song recommendations, let me know, because I don't know if I got 45 minutes on my discography at all.
Nah, I know your discovery. We're going to have some songs for you. But dang, Roane, rapid, out of retirement in the city? What day, bro?
Time.
When?
June 26th, 6 p.m., East Regional Library.
Dang, exclusive.
That's
dope.
But outside of that, just been working with a couple other Dallas artists. I mean, you and me been tapped in. We got a song that's about to come out. We know you've been working on some stuff behind the scenes, I know, as well.
Yeah.
But you just say working.
Dope, man. Well, welcome to the pod, bro.
Thank you.
Great to have you on. Yeah, this is my right hand man. If y'all don't know, producer, engineer, touring manager,
coach, motivator.
I mean, he's in the music industry, y'all wear multiple hats. We know that, bro. We've been on trips, bro. We traveled together, man.
Mm-hmm.
Austin, New York, Connecticut, bro. Shout out Bars on I-95. They super dope for that brunch last year. But yeah, man, we're gonna get into it, man. There's a lot going on in hip hop. Roane, we're gonna talk about your GOAT, bro.
Oh my goodness.
Who's your GOAT?
My GOAT, the one and only. Now I say this very carefully because these days you got to be careful.
Yeah.
And even for me, as the predominant fan of this individual, it's getting a little hard for me to justify my unashamed fandom to this person.
We can just separate it, y'all. It's
Kanye West.
Yes, so there's Kanye West and there's Ye, and those are two different people. I talked about this pod before. I don't like talking about it. I don't like bringing the drama. I just want to talk, bars, music industry news, keep it light, fluffy. This ain't CNN or Fox News or MSNBC. But Kanye West dropped a song. I don't think I can say the name on the song because they'll probably take us off Spotify and YouTube. It's like, like nigga, but not nigga. You know what I'm talking about. So Kanye West changed that song, and now the title's called Hallelujah. Have you heard that track?
I've not heard the track, but I've heard great things about it. I've heard it's uncomfortably fire.
Bro, and that's what's gonna have you conflicted. Like people could talk about R. Kelly, people talk about Tory Lanez, people talk about Chris Brown, Diddy now. Like there's so many points in music and in artistry where you're like, man, can you really separate the person and the art? But obviously, I think Ye has crossed the line and has been crossing the line, and that for me was like, bro, I can't believe you did that. But he changed it to Hallelujah, and people have told me, I've heard the track, but I've heard from people, some friends. It's kind of catchy, bro. It's a good track. But that makes me feel so uncomfortable because it's like, bro, you really did all this to do that? Like, it's just like, bro, just drop it with Hallelujah off rip. And someone said that people been on Twitter talking about, bro, he gonna remix this to Hallelujah and drop it again, and we all gonna be like bumping it in the whip. And it's like, you think he saw them tweets? You think he just looked at X and was like, hey, man, that's a good idea, bro. Where my PR at? It's crazy.
Yeah. I think he ends up doing what he wants, and I think that's part of why people love him, and that's part of why people hate him. Yeah. Most people end up hating him these days because he just does what he wants and he doesn't really care. It's kind of refreshing in this era, I will say. Yeah, to an extent where, like, in as much, like I said, like, we're not MSNBC, we're not CNN or anything like that, but like in a spot where people are trying so hard not to get canceled. He's very much just unashamedly himself. Now, there is a limit. There is a limit, and I'd be lying if I said he hasn't stepped over that line once or twice or 3 times or 4.
Yep.
But the thought does count for something. It doesn't count for everything, but it does count for something. And at the end of the day, if we keep it a band, right? We keep it a band. Like this is the Crazy Bars I've Heard podcast, right? We gonna keep it 100 to all parts.
Yeah.
You turning off Ignition Remix? You're not.
I'm not.
You're not.
I'm not.
And there's something to be said about music that transcends logic. And when it comes to music that transcends logic, there's nobody better than my GOAT.
That's fair. And obviously, to the victims, everyone, R. Kelly, you know.
Without a doubt.
So
it's not to be insensitive about it.
Yeah, we're not trying to be insensitive. But, yeah, if Ignition Remix comes on, I'm playing it.
Undeniably great.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into it. Because there's some people I do draw lines with, like, I'm going to keep it a bean. I'm probably drawing a line with Diddy. People was calling Kid Cudi a rat. And I'm like, y'all, he got subpoenaed. Like, that's not like, oh, do you want to testify? It's, bro, you're ordered by the law to testify.
Right.
And so, like, y'all calling him a rat or a snitch or whatever. It's like, bro, just, man, y'all above it, bro. And it's Kid Cudi. That man not claiming nothing. He rapping about mental health and marijuana. He just dropped a pop record. You hear this pop record?
Yeah, it's fire.
Okay, Kid Cudi dropped a fire pop record.
Yes. It's about time, too.
Yeah,
but also, so let's go back. Let's trickle this down though, because you know I like to be a contrarian. I'm very much a clash of ideals type of individual, right?
Yes, man.
So I agree that the Diddy stuff is way too far, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to okay, what are we not associating with Diddy? Because people forget like this whole Bad Boy Records thing was like a whole thing. Like before they got bought out by UMG, like the Bad Boys, the Interscope, like all this type of stuff. Like there was a whole movement, and so all this discography on this. A lot of people also don't understand. Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, all these people responsible for domestic violence. Yeah. It was just part of the culture back then. And there's so many things that everybody, your favorite artist ever, has been involved in some crazy, wacky stuff. Like Jay-Z has done a crazy amount of stuff that people just let slide because he's Jay-Z at this point. Beyonce's done crazy stuff. You go through, it's Beyonce. And so like there's some people, especially at that top 0.00001% of excellence, it's just really difficult to get to that point without having skeletons in your closet. So I think it's very interesting when you go through and it's like, this person's responsible for all this music and I like this music, but at the same time, I'm still a human. I need to show empathy and I need to understand that I can't support this type of tomfoolery and utter ridiculousness and crazy, awful, awful things. But then it's like you go to the music and it's really interesting, like what line of criminality do you separate the music from the actual individual?
And bro, I think that's like a lot of public figures and heroes. Like, let's keep it a bean. Like, I just watched a Brett Favre documentary.
Oh, yeah. That was
crazy.
Yeah.
And what he did, bro, you could say is objectively wrong, but bro, if you're a Packers fan, you grew up like that's your hero, and you don't want to take that away. It's like
sure.
Like people be like, man, how you deal with the haters or people hate on you, the negative comments? Like, bro, you got to look at yourself like the CEO or the president, bro. Like, there's presidents people gonna hate. There's presidents people gonna love. Shoot, 50% of the country might hate you, 50% of the country might love you. Bro, ask people if Bill Clinton was a good president and what he did. I mean, just example. I'm not trying to go there, but all I'm saying is, like, there's parallels when you're a public figure, when you're a celebrity, when you're a millionaire, when you're a billionaire. Like, damn, you get to a certain level, it's like, you're gonna have some hate. We're not perfect, we're not human, but it's, man, I do like where you're going, Dad. It's mad interesting.
It is incredibly interesting.
And like what's going on with Tory and Meg, I don't want to talk about it. I'm saying that right now. Whatever happens.
I don't know enough.
Bro, whatever happens.
That's what I stand by. I don't know enough about any other sides of any arguments.
Whatever happens. I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm going to listen to Meg's music. I fuck with Meg Thee Stallion. And, you know, whatever happens to people, man, I wish them the best. Drop the music. We ain't got to get into that. But yeah, the Kid Cudi Diddy trial, the Diddy trial is interesting how Kid Cudi testifies and got subpoenaed. He was forced to do it, y'all.
Yes.
So remember, look that up.
He wasn't trying to snitch.
Yeah, bro. I mean, the law says go, you go.
The law says snitch, you snitch.
I don't know about, damn.
Yeah.
I don't know. Testify. I don't know about, he testified. He not snitching. Whatever.
Wasn't the testimony snitching?
Hey, me and Ro gonna argue on this, bro. You might have to come back, bro. It might just have to be recurring, bro. J Boy, me and J Boy nice, but we might need a little, somebody to argue with.
Hey, come on now, you know where to find me.
Hey.
Black Cloud Studios.
Hey, Joe Budden and Ice, they need some opinions, bro.
Nah, for real though, for sure.
But like we talked about the rap beef last week because Joey Badass said the best rapper in New York is on a podcast. So, and I mean, I really like the Joey beef. People had their bars. People said what they said. Mm-hmm. But obviously, everyone's talking about the West Coast right now.
Yep.
And one of my favorite artists right now, shout out to Coyote. They just dropped a fire album. Y'all go check that. Like, just Mexican lyricist is how I would describe it. They got crazy bars. It's vulnerable. They talk real stuff. The visuals, like I hope they really pop because they bringing something different to the game. But speaking of LA, man, so there was, I think, a Complex Music list that dropped about the best LA rappers.
Hey, shout out to Complex Music because every list they ever made has some sort of controversial opinion in the top 10. Every single one. When you talk about farming for content, they're the best in the game when it comes to making these lists, bro. I swear.
And they do it on purpose. Like Kev on Stage, we've talked about, is a great community builder, great comedian, great like one of those internet guys y'all should learn from and pay attention to. He talked about, he's like, man, I used to work these things. And they do that on purpose. Because they 100% do it on purpose.
Oh, yeah, man. That's the engagement. They're like, what do you mean Eminem's not in your top 10? What's going on here? It's the favoritism and all of it. It works, though.
Yeah, bro.
It works because you tap in every time.
Because I think their list had like Blueface and the rapper Blue like one off. And someone was like, bro, that is crazy work.
Okay, hear me out on the Blueface. Mm-hmm. I'm just kidding. I'm not a fan.
Okay.
Y'all thought I was going to go somewhere. Y'all thought I was going to defend Blueface for a second, though. That was going to be funny.
He got some hits, bro. But we talk about best rappers. But
nah.
So I'm looking at the games list. He has, let's go through the top 10 of his top 100
game number
LA
one?
rappers. No.
Oh.
So number 1 is Tupac, 2 Snoop Dogg, 3 Ice Cube, 4 Kendrick Lamar, 5 The Game, 6 Corrupt, 7 DJ Quick, 8 Dr. Dre, 9 Eazy-E, Exhibits at 10. Nipsey Hussle's at 11, Ice-T, Be Real, Ty the Creator, YG's 15. I'm not going to go through the whole list. Dom Kennedy's 16. There's some cool MCs in here. You got Schoolboy Q at 20, Warren G at 21, Sugar Free at 22. I mean, it's a cool list. J-Rock 25. Okay. Absol 27.
Absol 27 is crazy. What?
Crooked Eye's 34. Yeah, I mean, this is a rapper list. Dang, he got Vince Staples at 37 and Baby Keem at 38. Damn, there's a lot of rappers in LA, bro. I'm going through this list.
LA popping, bro. You saw the Kendrick pop out, man. He had everybody in their mother.
Oh, yeah. Bro, he got Doja Cat at 50. I mean, I guess she is from Southern California.
Kinda.
Doja, you big fire music. Yeah.
Kinda. Like
Earl Sweatshirt 56.
You know what? That be them people that be like living in the U.S. for like their entire life and then they claim like Jamaican citizens so they can play on the Jamaican Olympic team or something like that.
For real.
That's the same thing.
Bro, there's levels, man.
But there's 2 issues. There's 2 of the biggest issues. You know where one of them is.
What?
It's number 1.
You putting yourself as number 1?
No, I'm not putting myself number 1, but the Pac number 1 conversation's got to stop, people.
Oh.
It's got to stop. It's got to stop. I understand. What I've always said is Tupac is to the rap game what Allen Iverson is to basketball. You can't talk about logic. You can't talk about, the technicality and the cadence, the rhythm and anything like that because everything that Tupac gave was feel. And if you're a member of that culture, it all pulls off in the feel of everything.
So you think Tupac's impact is just impact? I mean, dude's got hits. He's got albums. He's got great songs.
I'm talking, if we're talking best rappers, am I stupid to think it's off of rapping ability? Because if it's about rapping ability, then he shouldn't be in the top 10.
Damn.
Not because he can't rap, but because it's the same. It's the era conversation.
Yeah.
Like you take Giannis, throw him back in the 90s. That dude averaging 40 and 20.
Oh man, we're gonna get into plumbers.
Yeah, not because they plumbers, but like this dude 7 feet running a 4.40. Like what are we doing? Yeah. Like it's these types of conversations, but like on the technicality aspect, no, he doesn't belong. But I'll push that to the side because again, like I said, you can't argue logic with Tupac fans. You can drop all the stats, all the logic and everything like that, but at the end of the day, they gonna hit you with the you just don't feel it or you wasn't there. And I can't say nothing because A, I wasn't there, and B, I'm not like of that.
So Tupac or Biggie?
I'm Biggie, but they both mad overrated.
Whoa.
But that's not the issue here. That's not the issue here. The issue is at number 8. Mm-hmm. Dr. Dre. Now, Dr. Dre, number 2 GOAT, right behind Ye.
Okay.
Dr. Dre is, I have built my entire music career off of Dr. Dre's model and everything he does when it comes to vocal production and the engineering side and the business savvy of it. I have built everything off of how Dr. Dre runs his life, outside of the domestic violence and all that other type of stuff. But
disclaimer.
Alleged. Was it confirmed? I feel like statute of limitations. It's probably like 20, 30 years ago. Can I get sued?
I don't know.
I'm in like 2 lawsuits anyway, so I really ain't no do. Anyways, moving on. Dr. Dre. If we talking best rappers,
yeah, you
can't be there when you don't write your stuff.
Okay.
When you got Ice Cube writing for you, when you got Jay, this is what people don't know. The Jay on the East Coast, in the middle of the East Coast, West Coast rap, you got Jay writing for you for Dr. Dre on the West Coast.
Word.
You got these issues going through. But like, if you don't write your own stuff, you can't be in the top 10 rappers in the city.
You saying Jay-Z wrote for Dr. Dre?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that, bro.
Jay got writing credits. You would not believe who he wrote for. Yes.
And we can do a whole pod on that,
Bro, I'm telling you, like, Jay, that's why, like, he wanted them. Like, you listen to his stuff, like, he's another one of them field cats.
Yeah.
But, like, you get the Jay. I get the Jay stuff a bit more than I get the Pac stuff. But Jay, I saw as, like, a songwriter.
Yeah.
And, like, songs he's given to people. Like, Jay would help write for Neo.
Dang.
So, like, there's a lot of writing that Jay did. But outside of, like, you can't be in the top 10 rappers. You're not writing your stuff. So consequently, Eazy-E, because Cube wrote for all them NWA people.
Yeah.
Cube
got a pen.
All of them. And Eazy-E, I understand RIP, tragedy. But if we're talking logic of this, the one solo Eazy-E album.
He's just looking at me, dog. That's crazy, bro.
Just listen to it. That's all I'm saying. You're going to slide him right out the top 10. I swear you will.
What you think about Kendrick Lamar at 4?
I mean, I'd move him up. I understand why people don't. It's that whole, like, you know, his career's still going, so you don't want to throw him up too ahead. You don't want to throw him at number 1. I get it. I don't agree with it, but, you know, I kind of see it.
Man, I think...
Who are 2 and 3 again?
Snoop Dogg's 2, Ice Cube's 3.
Snoop didn't write either. What are we doing? Complex.
No, this is the games list. It ain't even complex.
Game. Even worse.
He said even worse.
Game. What we doing for real?
Man.
Snoop didn't write his stuff. I mean, he wrote some.
Yeah, I mean,
he wrote some.
Writer. He didn't, like, he wasn't Ice Cube level.
No, but I'm saying, like, if you a late 90s, early 2000s rapper.
Yeah.
Like, this is in the peak of, like, rap, like, the core of rap is to, you know, have a voice out against police brutality. Like, this is my voice out into the world, how I manifest my artistry, how I voice my perspective on culture. That is the responsibility of every rapper in the industry at that time. Yeah. It's not to get big, it's to give a voice to the voiceless. Like, that's what the purpose of the rappers in that time period was.
Yeah.
If it's not your voice, how you top 5, top 10?
I feel that. That's fair.
Not that they can't rap. Not that they can't rap. Because they can for show. They can all rap. But, like, you got to put pen to paper on everything if you're going to be top 5, top 10.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
And is Game on the list?
Yeah, he put himself at 5.
Okay, he put himself at 5.
Kendrick. I mean, I think Kendrick has done enough to deserve number 1. Mm-hmm. He's got classic albums. He's got longevity to pop out. What he's doing right now. And you talk about, okay.
The battle.
Yeah, like, the biggest beef of the 21st century is inarguably, objectively, Drake versus Kendrick.
Without a doubt.
And Kendrick won. We talked about this. We ain't got to go through it again.
Drake fans, keep quiet. Y'all know he lost.
Man, they'll come for you. But, yeah, Kendrick has done so much. He's on a stadium tour with SZA right now. We talked about how much money that's making. Yeah,
but, like, yes, he is, but let's not sit here and pretend like SZA's not, like, 65% reason that thing's selling out.
You think SZA's 65?
Bro, SZA the biggest name in R&B.
You thinking
65? Rappers don't do stadiums. I don't. Feel you.
But you're saying SZA's 65% responsible for that tour.
For the stadium?
Yeah.
Yes. If it's an arena, Kendrick. But rappers don't do stadium shows.
And I feel you, but I'm just, and I went to Jay-Z versus Justin Timberlake at a stadium. So I've been there, and I get what you're saying. But you think she's 65%?
Of the stadium pool?
Yeah.
Yes, because it's a different demographic you're pulling in a stadium show versus an arena show. It's an entirely different market.
Man, Your hot takes do have good arguments now. They do have good arguments. That man do back it up.
I'm telling you, it's
because I'm thinking 50-50, 55-45, but you saying 65?
Yes, it's because again, like what? Like sit down and think. Really, really think about it. Cowboy Stadium.
Yeah.
Holds what? 120? 102?
Wait,
it holds over 100
for a concert. Yeah, for a concert.
100.
It's not a football game for a concert.
Let's say 100. Yeah, 100. Right. 100,000. Like these. This is a place where Beyonce sells out. Taylor Swift sells out. I know this is crazy bars I've heard podcast. You don't want to hear about Taylor Swift. I get it. I understand. But like,
talk about music, bro.
Taylor Swift. Like we ain't about to sit here and pretend like she's not Taylor Swift.
I don't think it was 100. I don't think Cowboy Stadium was 100. But
Cowboy Stadium holds 100.
I'm looking at Houston, and they sold 42,000 tickets, and they made $9.4 million. But anyway,
that's Houston. Yeah. Jerry World in Arlington.
Sorry, Dallas.
Dallas. But I say that to say it holds a large amount of people, and ticket prices for stadium shows are significantly increased from arena shows. Right. It's a different demographic. You have way more going on. It's a different level of production. You sit up there in the nosebleeds, like way up in the nosebleeds where you can't even see a football game trying to watch one person perform a rap song for an hour.
Yeah.
You're not going to get as many people as you would for the SZA side of it. Now, SZA can hop on Kendrick tracks and vice versa, and it adds those elements. But if we just talking like straight song for song, I think there's going to be more people going to like a SZA stadium tour than it is for Kendrick. And I know this because I don't think Kendrick would have brought SZA along if he didn't need SZA along. Because that man's ego is off the charts. And he like 5'2", so I know he got a Napoleon complex.
Bro, he not 5'2". Like 5'5". Okay,
bro, I'm 6'2". That's the same thing, bro. you had to fight all your life, bro. And I ain't listen. I don't want no problems with Kendrick because I promise you he would knock my butt out. I promise you he would. That man grew up in Compton at 5'5". I don't want no problems. I don't want no problems with you or anybody you hang out with. I don't want none of them. But we're not about to sit here and pretend like that man's ego's not off the charts.
Facts. Hey,
because I know if I'm at that stage, if I just came off this Drake event and the Super Bowl, you think I'm going on tour and sharing the spotlight with anybody if I don't need to?
He said no.
Absolutely not, man. That's going to be my big old victory lap across the entire country if I don't need to do it.
So they had 49,000 tickets sold, and they grossed $11.8 million at the AT&T Stadium. So, okay, yeah, 49,000. You think 30,000 of those folks was for SZA?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair point.
Especially in Dallas. Dallas love them some R&B.
Yeah, they do.
And some thick black women.
Yeah, they do.
They do indeed.
Check and check.
Check and check.
No, I know some people went to that show, so looked like it was fire. We had that cypher that night, bro. I was like, someone was like, why'd you do that? I was like, bro, you think I knew that? Anyway. Dang, man. But yeah, this rapper list is really interesting, bro. LA's got a lot of dope MCs.
Tyler the Creator's always the guy. I don't know why. I just cannot ever envision him as like an LA rapper. Like it always pulls, like it's always shocking every time I see Tyler the Creator. Like when he was at the Kendrick pop out, I was like, what's Tyler doing? And I was like, oh right,
bro. And they was singing his,
they
was singing his shit, bro.
I was mad at it, like LA
Tyler,
support.
Bro, Tyler's career is really cool, man. He's got some great albums, and just go from that crazy kid to like a lyricist, and like how he's giving game now too in his 30s. I was like, man, it's cool to see his career trajectory.
Yeah.
And it makes me sad for artists like Mac Miller who passed, and we never you saw that trajectory going from frat rap to smooth jazz, and you looked at it from Tyler from going from Yonkers to making masterpieces like Chromacopia.
Chromacopia is fantastic.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Fantastic.
The world building and the sound. And,
come on now.
And it's cool that he's like classic MC. Like all the albums are different. Like people talk about Outkast. I mean, they dropped it. They took 2 years to drop it, which is similar to Tyler. But it's like, man, we were different people. Each of those 2 years dropped different albums and sounds, but it was all quality and legendary.
Yep.
So that's always cool. Especially in the game now where it's content, single, stay relevant. And obviously he's established at this point, so his career is different, but it's cool to see that. And I'm just looking at the names on this list, man. They got Hopsin at 63. D-Smoke is 65.
Hopsin can go lower.
Bro, Schoolboy Q at 20, bro.
Q at 20 is not bad.
Yeah, bro.
Soul at 27 is disrespectful. I stand by that.
Rayvon at 60. So it's a good interesting list, man. But yeah, cool. I always like to see the list and the debates and start have these conversations. But bro, man, you do anything fun this weekend?
This weekend, bro, what did I do?
I know you'd be working.
What was I doing this weekend? Was it Saturday, Sunday? I was in the studio. I was mixing 2 records. I was working on a sync track, and I was trying to put the finishing touches up on my EP.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I think that's it. But it was just music, straight music, engineering. I don't think I had any clients this weekend. I was just mixing and producing, cooking up.
Bro, be working.
Always. What about you?
Man, I was outside. One, promoting, y'all. Juneteenth, I got a cypher with Bobby Sessions, Ty Harris, Southside Vic, Fort Worth, Tulips. Man, it's going to be crazy. Pull up, man. We're having a contest for openers right now. By the time this comes out, check that page. It'll probably be wrapped up. We'll have the openers picked. But definitely come to the show. It's going to be crazy.
Those some big names, my guy.
I know, bro. Bro, Bobby Sessions, Grammy winner, bro.
He wrote for Meg Thee Stallion, I know.
Oh. Ty Harris, the Oak Cliff Kendrick Lamar. He got a feature with Akeem Ali about to come out.
Oh, word?
Yeah, they're about to go crazy. And the Southside Vic, bro. Act-Town legend, man.
Come on,
bro.
now.
His On the Radar is crazy. But, so I was, I'm outside promoting, going to shows, going to different things. Man, so I'm a Big Logic fan.
Mm-hmm.
If Jay was here, we talk about it. But there's this dude on Twitter, Bryce Fitz, who's like a Logic stan. Like, Logic's got a movie coming out, and he's like, yo, Bryce, like, pull up. And I was talking to him, I met him. And he's like, yeah, bro, I'm doing my movie, pull up. He's in the movie, and then he's going to the premiere in New York. But I met him out here because they was doing, they did open mic in Fort Worth, and they did a show in Dallas. They got an underground company called In The Fest. Okay. And Bryce is cool because it's like, I'm on the internet. Y'all know me as a content creator. So I meet other content creators, and I'm always interested in hearing about their journey. Like Joey Gotham, Joey on Hip Hop from Twitter. Like, people know him. He meets artists. Same type shit, So talking to him was cool. He's like, man, how'd you link with Logic? Bro, I just be tweeting about it, and he invited me to shows, and I get the free shows for Logic. Like, me and him are cool. Like, I'm like, oh, has he got Logic's number? He's like, bro, I'm seeing him next week for the movie premiere. I was like, bro, that's cool.
Dang.
But it was interesting seeing their company, meeting Noah as well, and seeing like, okay, yeah, we're doing underground shows. We're trying to do on tour. We do an open mic every other week in North Carolina, just really tap into that underground scene. And I'm like, yo, I'm tapping the lyricists. Like, you guys are, I'm hearing some auto-tune, which is cool, man. I love all types of music, but crazy bars I heard, you got to spit, bro. And that auto-tune, the vibey stuff. I fuck with it, but, I'm not posting that.
Hey. Lil Baby got bars and he got auto-tune.
Lil Baby does have bars.
You can punch and still have auto-tune. You can do both.
But, like, these are, like, Cardi.
Oh.
Like, our homie, bro, Limbo, bro. I'll never forget that moment. When he said Playboy Cardi is the GOAT, bro, Cardi is fire, man. But there's a bunch of people who think Playboy Cardi is the GOAT. And it's changed the game.
And you can't tell them no. You can't tell them anything.
You can't tell them anything at all.
That is my GOAT. That is what I'm rocking with. That is it.
Yeah.
That is all they will stand by.
But that's real. But anyway, I say to say it was great to meet Bryce, Noah, his team. They pulled up, they did the open mic in Fort Worth on Friday, and they did the show at Creators Don't Die in Dallas on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I like their business model. They're doing tours, they're doing shows around the country. But, Ron, I got a question for you, bro, because it's come up, man. Do you think touring is worth it as artists nowadays?
So, it always depends on what your contract is, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of contracts that go out in the industry where you'll make money off of touring, but you won't generate any revenue off of like parking tickets or off of concessions or even off of merch in some cases.
Yeah,
like
John Bellion spoke about it.
Yeah, like them full like 360 deals where they just recoup everything off of it. Bro. No, not worth it. Crazy. I always say don't go on tour just because I've been on tour two times for a week at a time. Not mine. I was doing sound with other people. Wasn't my own music. But I've learned that going on tour is only worth it if you can afford a van worthy of going on tour. If you have to load up the Ford Fusion in the back and roll up 4 deep and you're squished back to back, you can go there. It's cool. It's great content to get motion and all this type of stuff. But the touring industry for me, if you're looking to make money, there's so many better ways to make money than just going out and touring into absolute strange locations. Yeah. Like you can go and get motion on other places, but you can do the same thing and run Instagram ads and get the same clout and same pool. You might not have the level of personal connections, but instead of reaching like 10 personal connections, you might get 200 not personal connections. And then you go into DMs and then cultivate the relationship from there. Yeah. And I feel like that's far better bang for your buck than going out and touring. But the thing about touring has always been artists love doing shows.
Yes.
They just love performing shows. And so it's not always about logic. Some people end up going through and they're just like, you know what? for me to succeed at the level of music and the level of excellence that I need to be at, I need to do live shows. And so at that point, if your creativity is dependent on performing shows and, you know, being in front of people and being a performer, then absolutely, because you got to do whatever it takes in order to maintain your creative juices.
Yeah. And we talked about it. Like, I think shows is my favorite part of the artistry. I mean, performing, freestyling, that in-person connection. Because obviously, man, like, y'all see the platform. Like, I love being online, you know, blowing that up, you know, meeting people through DMs. But, like, there's nothing like, man, just dapping somebody up. It's like, oh, bro, I see you online, but yeah, we cool. Or building that relationship. Because that's, especially COVID taught us that, but that's like our real humanity, bro. We, like, you can connect on the screen, you could connect online, but it's just not the same. And COVID definitely reiterates that fact. Because, bro, when we was on them screens separated, bro, people was going crazy. People was getting depressed. People were getting divorced. Like, there were so many things.
I was one of them, let the record show.
Yeah, damn. Ron said we about the content tonight, bro. Hey,
it's real though. And shout out Versus too, getting a lot of people through because that helped a lot of situations.
Versus was fire, man. You know, like there's so many things that we try to do to replicate it, but like, bro, them first shows and events popping out, bro. Remember that house party show where Ernie Mode was born, bro?
Prosper, Texas,
bro.
I'll never forget. That was a crazy night. That was the first night I've hung out with Ernie, and I was legitimately concerned. I was like, bro, you gonna be alright? I said, yeah, man, it's gonna be great. I was like, hey, bro, I just love you, dog. You great. I was like,
bro, I was lit, bro. I pulled up with a fifth of black Hennessy. Pulled up to the party. That shit was gone. Like, gone, bro. Like, I probably drank 80% of that bottle in like 2 hours. Anyway,
I feel like that night's one of those ones where like we all pop and like 20 years from now, it's like that video starts circulating around. It's like, yo, all these people were there,
bro, for real. Yeah, there's some people were there, bro, for real. But that's a story for another time. But yeah, so touring is, I get your points about touring because there's nothing like shows. But man, touring has been expensive for a lot of artists, and there's been a lot of prominent artists talking about, man, they not putting me on tour, or they're doing less cities and doing less shows. Like Ab-Soul dropped a dope album, and it's like, man, where the tour at?
But he's not like you got to be like an artist for that too.
Yeah,
and I feel like Soul, and this is always the one I go to, but like Earl, like the bar dudes, and this is why I go back to the Kendrick. Like Kendrick's obviously on another level from everybody else, but this is like the bars don't translate to touring. It's the showmanship of it. So that's why like Drake is not a better rapper than Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
But Drake can put on a better show than Kendrick Lamar.
The pop records,
off the strength of the records.
The women,
the vibes, everything like that. Like a Kendrick crowd look entirely different than a Drake crowd.
Yeah, bro, but girls was thirsting over Kendrick, and I saw that online, and that was real interesting to me.
True, but there's levels.
Oh, yeah.
Because like the Drake thirst, especially like you talking 2010, 2012, bro. Yeah. Hey, let me tell you something.
Roane was like,
there was not a better time in the world to be a light skin than that 2012, 2016 range. I'm telling you.
Bro, Roane want to talk about that light skin trickle down economics.
It was 100%, man. I had the short hair with the fade.
Bro, it was like, you probably had the gloves on.
Come on now.
Come on now. This is nigga in high school, bro. He said, man, he had the Nike gloves from the game, pulling up in the whip. He's like, going to the party. I'm like, do you think you Drake? He's
capitalizing,
like, man. Nigga said, YOLO.
I said, man, y'all can't get to Drake, but y'all can get to me. You feel me?
Bro, you crazy.
It was a different time, man. But you know, and then somewhere it switched. I don't know when the switch happened to when the dark skins started taking over. But now I gotta fight for mine, and I gotta fight with all the ethnics too.
Bro, he said, bro, it's rated E out here, bro.
Like the Filipinos?
Bro,
I gotta fight with Filipinos now. I'm like, man, what happened? We used to run this game. Bro, that's how I knew that Drake had already fallen off. That's how I knew that Drake fell out, because the trickle-down light-skin economics stopped applying to my life.
Oh, man.
So I had to go out and I had to study the game, study the craft.
Yeah, bro. Dang, bro. Yeah, we going everywhere with this Crazy Bars I Heard podcast tonight. Mess with it, though. But yeah, man, touring. It's gonna be see who goes on tour, what shows are done. Festivals too. I feel like festivals had a bubble, and I don't know if the bubble popped or kind of popped, but there was like so many festivals started up, and then like it kind of slowly died down, but it's not gone away completely. Like the staples are still doing well. I feel like it's tougher and more expensive, but people keep going to festivals. We talked about ACL last episode. J-Boy and his girl are there, bro. They're ready, and the lineup's dope. But I was like, man, it's sold out.
Shout out Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, Doja Cat, Doechii. Yeah, that's gonna be fire.
Yeah, no, but I think in the festival side too is entirely different. I think like it's the overcorrection from when COVID was shut down, when you couldn't do nothing. And then when you go like 6 months to a year of doing nothing, then it's like, okay, now we got to do everything.
Yeah, bro.
And then they just scale that, and then everybody's outside for all the events and everything like that. Now it's starting to kind of settle back in, and financially, I don't think the industry I don't think it ever recovered, because now people are already in the habit of watching their pockets, and you got eggs being super expensive, milk being super expensive, and they're like, man, I ain't got money for this level of concert, or this level, these festival tickets.
And dog, you think about the logistics of a tour. You start talking about gas for the tour bus, plane rides. Like Drake had to cancel one leg of his Australia tour because it's like they put that gap in there, and they was like, bro, we would have to pay the people through the gap. We can't just like shut down and then start up again and go home and come back. It's like, nah, we got to pay these people to keep going through that leg.
Yeah.
And, bro, you start talking about traveling and touring, bro. You start breaking down your budget. You got to think about hotels where you stay. You got to think about, man, you're getting a rental car. You got a van. What city are you in? How are you getting to places? Because I was in San Francisco for a cypher. And shout out to Frack for bringing me out. That content's dropping real soon.
Hey, Frack, you fire.
Bro, Frack is nice. Frack is nice.
Fire.
But so the Weather Report cypher, man, we was in the Bay, San Francisco, Oakland. We had some MCs. And, bro, so I pull up, I land, and I was going to get a rental car. And it was like, hey, man, you want insurance on that? And I was like, no, I'm straight. Like, it's a rental car. I mean, I was literally there for like 24 hours. Like, you sure? And I was like, why does lady look at me like I'm crazy? Bro, long story short, man, in the Bay, San Francisco, they call it Bip City. When people be bipping. So it's a specific way to do auto theft. Like, they have like bipping. Yeah, bipping. Yeah, Bip City, bro. Look up bipping. So it's a specific way to steal stuff out your car. They get like a tool or like a spark plug, and they smash the windows. No sound. It just cracks. And they grab your stuff, take your valuables, and dip. So if you got a rental car, like you don't have a California plate, or you got a laptop or a backpack.
Oh, so you're a mark.
Bro, they just, boom, grab it and go. And I was like, oh, it's for real out here? Like, I started Googling it, and people started telling me, and everyone asked. And I asked everybody. I was like, bipping? They might be bipping tonight. Yeah, bro, it's 420. They might be bipping. And I was like,
it's like a gathering event. It's like, yeah, no, they probably bipping down the street for sure.
And I went to the Golden State Bridge. Every tourist spot, they had a sign, don't leave valuables in your whip. The hotel valet, don't leave valuables in your whip.
Nah, that's crazy.
It was crazy, bro. And then when I returned the whip, 24 hours later, the car in front of me, smashed window.
Dang.
And I was like, oh, they for real out here. And she was like, yeah, like, if 10 cars get returned today, probably 2 out of 10. I was like, dang, they out here like that.
That's foul.
Yeah, bro. So if you ever go to the Bay, man, get insurance. I had a Mustang, so get a trunk with no window.
You had a Mustang rental car?
Yeah, bro, hey, shout out to Frack, bro. It was nice.
I ain't mad at that one bit.
Bro, hey, you know,
not one bit.
Bay Area. But yeah, bro. So no, touring, you got to think about all that type of stuff, man. Rental car, hotel, budget, all that. But man, what you got? Any albums you looking forward to, man? Any songs? You looking forward to drop?
I stay a lot in the pop R&B space, and I'll say I'm looking a lot into these the UK.
Word.
UK space, yeah. There's this artist called Sissy Ford, is a UK rapper R&B artist. She's fire. There's a song on June 5th called Brick by Brick by Say Now. I'm looking forward to. That's gonna be really fire. Girl group out of the UK.
Bro, that's a clip.
Fire.
You got me in a chokehold, bro, because I see you posting and liking and commenting, and now I'm liking they stuff.
It's
like,
so catchy.
Dude, brick by brick.
Come on, now,
bro.
It's catchy, and every time that's how I'm looking, I was like, man, where's these people from? I was like, the UK. Oh, where's this person from? The UK. So I was like, man, like the UK R&B scene, like, I'm not saying it's better than the US R&B scene, but I'm saying there's competitors out there.
He said it's real.
Like the dream team's still in the US, but you know, France looking kind of deadly.
So, but are they winning MVPs like the NBA, or we still fighting chance, bro?
Hey, bro, if they played over here, bro.
Yeah, I do fuck. I've always fucked with British music. I had a grind.
Shout out
phase.
Stormzy, bro.
Bro, Stormzy, Skepta, Dave, Chipmunk, bro. I go back, like, you know. I definitely had a grind phase.
Pop.
Yeah, bro. Bro, they're pop music too, bro. And some of them do. Someone just sent me an Irish artist. He might go on tour with my boy LL the Shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out L. Yeah, that's dope.
Bro, I got a crazy story I need to tell you after the pod. But
okay.
With LL, but yeah, it was crazy.
Bet, bro, for sure. But yeah, man, that's dope. I'm looking forward to the new Clips joint, bro. Did you hear their latest, bro?
I heard bits and pieces.
Bro. Ace trumpets. No Malice ain't cussing, and he's still making them coke bars sound crazy. Pusha T gonna Pusha T, man. I'm really looking forward to their album, Ace Trumpets. Y'all, if you haven't heard it, go listen to it. And then obviously Jid's dropping in August, and he announced he's dropping in August like a couple weeks ago. So I'm gonna be feeding all summer for that.
I be locked in. It has the Jid hype petered out because of the J. Cole?
No,
or has it just organically happened because he hasn't been as like prominent everywhere?
I think this is my hot take. I think there's a couple rappers who people are waiting to be like that next superstar level. Like if not touching the big three, is almost there. And I feel like Jack Harlow was that for a while. And Jid is like that new dude who's like, man, he could really blow the top off the mainstream. He's like been kind of there for a little bit. And it's not like he's busted the top open, but he's like right there to be like next to Travis, not touching the big three. Like
he like Anthony Edwards though.
Yeah.
Like a step away.
Yeah,
but I feel like he's been a step away for like 3 years.
Just like Harlow was for a minute, bro. Like they in that weird, like, oh, like, bro, we waiting for him to be like they waiting for Harlow to be the white Drake. Is he there yet? Nah, but he been bubbling for a minute. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. But yeah, definitely looking forward to Jid, looking forward to Clips. And man,
I wish I related more to the Clips bars, bro. I wish I did, man. Like this. The reason why I love Push, is because he make me want to move cocaine,
bro.
I am suburban as can be, and I listen to Push. I'm like, man, selling cocaine sound like the vibe. Let's go,
bro. But that's like, I think his storytelling. He's like a film, bro. Like you talk about Tarantino, Springsteen. Yep. That's how Pusha T make you wanna like the raps feel, bro. The production, the wordplay, the just addiction. Like when you hear grinding, you see that music video.
Yep.
And at a time where like you heard a song, you didn't see the visual, but grinding was one of those things like you heard it, you could see the video, bro.
Yep.
So, but man, one more thing I want to talk about for sure is these DJs, bro. This DJ content, these DJ mashups. I think as they kind of get out of hand, bro. If I'm keeping it being with you, bro.
Okay, let's now we going into a real Ernie hot take. So put me on game. What's your hot take on this? Because I love them all.
I mean, okay, some of them are fire, some of them work, but some of them I'm like, bro, you were totally off. Like you like the mashups don't be on beat. I don't understand the transitions. Y'all mixing different genres, and like it's cool to be creative and be different, but some of them are just not hitting for me. And I don't know if it's because I see them like I'm not there, because obviously music is different when you in there. When you in the because like EDM, am I gonna play EDM in the whip? No, bro. But you go to a rave or go to EDM festival,
smacking.
It might turn you into a fan for real. But yeah, I'm just not getting some of these mashups. I'm like, bro, y'all mixing pop records with some of these R&B tracks. You doing some of these hip hop songs with. Then you mix it with something with no drums. You putting Lord vocals on a boom bap beat. What are we doing?
So I see your point. I see your point. The thing that gets me is people always pulling everything into Afrobeat land.
Yeah,
that's the one where I draw that line. Like, okay, guys, like really.
Yeah.
Like I heard this one dude, he pulled like Nuck If You Buck into like water. But like I'm like, guys, like, okay, like what are we really doing?
Come on.
Like what are we really doing?
Where's Boozy at? Come on.
Right. Like there's some things where like you're going too far. But I think the reason we got here is the same way, and you ain't going to appreciate this, but I'm going to say it anyways. It's the same reason all these Detroit cats ain't rapping on beat.
Bruh.
It's the pursuit of creativity and the experimentation to try and excel in a way that nobody else before them has actually excelled.
Yeah, but them Detroit cats be spitting, bro. Let's keep it.
Okay, they got the bars, yes.
Got the bars.
But
sound. That Detroit sounds so unique.
Not everybody's Mr. Crazy Bars I've heard when they've heard every bar in existence. Like some people is casual. They like the melodies. They want to chill. They want to vibe. And then you go through, like even me, I had to adjust off of and I worked with rappers for a long time. Paid my rent off of it. Yeah. Did a lot of that. And it took me a while to adjust to the cadence of the flow. I'm like, man, why are all these people rapping off beat? They're like, nah, it's the style. I'm like, no, it's not beat. Blueface, going back to that. It's a perfect example. It's like
still come back to the one.
Yes. I'm like, what are we really doing? But then the stuff goes viral.
Yeah.
The content gets virality and like the songs start to scale and they get traction and all that stuff. So at some point you got to say, okay, something about this is working. So I agree with you. It has gone too far, but I think it is the equivalent of comedians going to regular stand-up events and like just like workshopping shops. Yeah. Like I don't think you'll be at an actual club and being like, okay, I got this crazy transition if the club's jumping. Like I think they still understand that like the time the time and place for when to drop and break records. So I think it's just they have to make content now, and I feel like that like mashup that doesn't make sense gets a lot better engagement than the one that's like, oh, that's fire.
Yeah.
Because the negative engagement always runs better than the positive engagement.
Oh yeah, bro. People be arguing my comments and them videos go zoom.
Bro, I see every time you post a white rapper, bro. Every single time. It's like clockwork.
Every time. Bro, Millie's. Bro, you think, bro, you got a Jadakiss cosign. Remember that? All right, whatever. Bro, I post Eminem. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, man, that's dope, man. Bro, I appreciate you coming out on the pod, man.
Always,
tell them
man.
where they can find you, bro.
You can follow me at Roane Music, Roane Music. Also catch me at Black Cloud Studios in Fort Worth, Arlington, Dallas, wherever you might be. We go and record. We got specials going on right now. Tap in. We got your content squared away. We got your engineering squared away. Production, whatever you need. One-stop shop for all creatives.
And bro, where's your show and when it's gonna be?
It is East Regional Library in Fort Worth, Texas, 6 p.m. on June 26th.
I've been marking in my calendar. Hey y'all, it's Ernie, Mr. Crazy Bars I've Heard. Y'all can follow me at Crazy Bars I've Heard. Check out my music at It's Ernie, ITSERNIE, 2 underscores. Follow the podcast page, CBIH Podcast. We live on YouTube at Crazy Bars I've Heard. I'm on TikTok, bro. I'm everywhere. Just follow me. But we're live from Black Cloud Studios, where art is everything. Come check out Black Cloud. The recording and the audio was done here, and it is magnificent. And we signing off. Thank you for coming and listening to the Crazy Bars I've Heard podcast. Thank you. Peace.